person that I am today who owns 2 butter churns. So a little bit of reading, and then we're also going to commence with the dork portion of the evening, which will be a little bit of little house trivia. So there will be a chance to win some store-bought candy. So, you know, do that. And, oh, and also chores. I've got some butter to churn. You guys are going to help me with this. So sometimes I have, you know, a churn, you know, I couldn't bring my churn on the plane. So, so this will do. This is the sort of, you really don't need a churn to turn cream into butter. You just need lots of agitation. So this is kind of be the sort of grade school experiment version of churning butter. We're going to do this. We're going to learn about frontier labor and dairy science. So, I mean, I don't know how long this is going to take because the cream is kind of cold and it's supposed to really sort of sit by Ma's stove for a little while, you know. But so you guys just keep passing around and shaking it, and we're just going to check on it every now and then. So, you know, my first reading we tried this. You know, I've done this before, and then we used half and half at one point, and that didn't work. So, so we know that now. But now, okay, I'm just going to read a little bit from the book. I was born in 1867 in a log cabin in Wisconsin, and maybe you were too. We lived with our family in the big woods, and then we all traveled in the covered wagon to Indian territory. Ma built us another house out on high land where the prairie grasses wave, right? We remember the strangest things, the way rabbits and wild hens and snakes raced past the cabin to escape a prairie fire, or else how it felt when the head of a needle slipped through a hole in the thimble and stuck us hard, and we wanted to yell, but we didn't. We moved on to Minnesota, then South Dakota. I swear to God it's true, we were a girl named Laura, who lived and grew up and grew old and passed on, and then she became a part of us somehow. She existed fully formed in our heads, her memories swimming around in our brains with our own. Or that's how it felt to me, at least. That's how it still feels sometimes, if I really think about it. I mean, I don't believe in reincarnation. And obviously, Lori was Wilder didn't either. Not with her respectable Protestant singing off-key in churches upbringing. It's just how reading the Little House books was for me as a kid. They gave me the uncanny sense that I'd experienced everything she had, that I'd nearly drowned in the same flooded creek, endured the grasshopper plague of 1875, and lived through the hard winter. It's a classic childhood delusion, I know, and in my typically dippy way, I tended to believe fantasy was mine alone, and this magical past life business was between Laura and me and no one else. Surely I was the only one who had this profound mind meld with her that allowed me to feel phantom pigtails tugging at my scalp. I had to be the only one who was into books that much. Most of the Little House books I read came from the public library, usually off the paperback racks. I remember studying a list of books in the series. Their titles appeared in small caps in the front matter of every book. And I loved the way the list had its own rhythm. Little House in the Big Woods, Little House on the Prairie, Farmer Boy, on the banks of Plum Creek, by the shores of Silver Lake, the long winter. Of course I memorized them. Little Town on the Prairie, these happy golden years, the first 4 years. The words plodded along reliably like the feet of Indian ponies. And oh my God, I wanted to live in one room with my whole family and have a pathetic corncob doll all my own. I wanted to wear a calico sunbonnet. Take off the sunbonnet. Or rather not wear a calico sunbonnet the way Laura did, letting it hang down her back by its ties. I wanted to do chores because of the books. Carry water, turn water to make head cheese. I wanted dead rabbits brought home for supper. I wanted to go out in the backyard and just, I don't know, grab stuff off trees or uproot things from the ground and bring it all inside in a basket and my parents say, my land, what a harvest. There were a host of other things from the books that I remember I wanted to do too, such as make candy by pouring syrup in a sniffle, Sew a seam with tiny and perfectly straight stitches. Have a man's hand span my corset waist. Which at the time did not seem creepy at all. Just chained to sticks, eat salt pork, eat fat pork, keep a suckling pig as a pet. Chase a horse and or ox into a barn stall. Ride on the back of a pony just by hanging onto its mane. Feel the Chinook wind. Laura was my friend, my little imaginary friend, and it's perhaps a testament to the utterly solitary nature of my relationship with her that for the whole time I was enthralled with the book series as a child. I did not know a TV show based on it was airing Monday nights during prime time. How could I have missed this? Two major reasons as to why. One, while I was dimly aware that a TV show called Little House on the Prairie existed, somehow my 8-year-old mind clung to the specious idea that the phrase Little House on the Prairie was simply a general expression. Like home on the range, humble abode. And thus there was little reason to believe that a show called Little House on the Prairie was in fact about that little house on the prairie, the one that I adored, as opposed to just some other little house on some prairie someplace where this Michael Landon guy, who of course wasn't Pa, I mean, look at him. I suppose if I tuned in even once, all these mistaken assumptions would have been cleared up for me, but for the fact that, too, WKRP in Cincinnati ran in the competing time slots. In the late 1970s, my parents and brother and I watched it every week. Because holy Howard Hessman, that shit was funny. It wasn't until a couple years later, long after I'd gotten through my mooniest phase of Little House of Love, that I found out the book and TV show were indeed related. By then I didn't care much, though it was a little disconcerting to watch Battle of the Network stars and occasionally see some of the Little House cast members wearing tiny shorts and swimsuits. You know that woman with the Cheryl Teague's leg? Even my family had been watching another channel. I doubt Little House on the Prairie would have been regular viewing in our household, which tended to favor smart-ass sitcoms and gritty cop dramas over heartwarming family programming. Not that it hasn't been sometimes confounding to have this parallel TV universe. More than once, a friend or acquaintance has gushed, "You mean you're a Little House fan too?" Only to discover that we have two very sets of memories. One of us is thinking at the time Laura taught a calf to drink from a bucket. The other is thinking about the very special episode when some kid named Albert got hooked on morphine. The ensuing conversation often ends awkwardly, with one of us a bit disappointed that the real Laura Ingalls did not have an opiate-crazed adopted brother, and the other feeling, well, just depressed. So maybe we don't all remember the same prairie, but I like to think there's still a kinship. Just as pioneers kept relics from their distant homelands, the TV show holds on to plenty of the little things from the realm of the books. The calico dresses, and the pigtails, and the girls running through tall grass. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. How is the fire doing?
Trying to hear it.
That's good. If it goes oddly silent, that's good. It's whipping. Yeah. Well, you gotta shake through the silence. And feel free to pass it on. You know. I mean, everyone's got to chip in. So, fast forward a little bit. You know, these are my childhood memories. 30 years pass in which I don't actually read the books because I'm a children's book editor and I'm afraid to look back and see what the flaws of the books are. Until one day I finally do read the books and find that they really are wonderful, and I kind of flip out and start to read everything I can. So I'm rereading the series. I barely got into these happy golden years, the last official book in the series, when I began to dread finishing it. I was gradually remembering, after 30 years, how it ended for me the last time, which is to say, not well. Laura marries Almanzo Wilder in these happy golden years, just like the back cover copy of my paperback said she would. I just love that. But then the happy wedding day final chapter is followed by a wobbly wagon train of 3 posthumous books, all of them deeply frustrating to me as a child. In the first 4 years, her posthumously published novel, Laura and so suffer crop failures. They lose a baby. They get diphtheria. The book was oddly paced and hard for me to follow as a child, so I had almost nothing to go on except for the sparse illustrations. The final one, an image of their little house burning down. The next two books didn't destroy the world of the books for me. They simply lost it altogether. As an 8-year-old kid, I was bored by On the Way Home, with its logbooks, descriptions of fields and roads, and its murky old photos of the midland towns and wilders who passed through. And What's from Home just confused me. I managed to glean 2 bits of information about Laura. One, that she was growing fat, or so her daughter Rose said in the letter home from Manzo. According to Rose, Laura ate multiple butter scones without a quiver. At the time I read that, I was growing up in a household full of diet books, so I was mortified. 2, Rose reported in the very next letter that Laura had fallen off a streetcar and hit her head. I couldn't unknow these sad facts. The little half-pint I knew and loved had become some sort of embarrassing middle-aged person who got into stupid mishaps in the big city. In my mind, the world of the Little House books just went up in smoke at the end. Their heroine disappeared in a clumsy ordinariness. It always trailed off with a vague, unspoken disappointment. It's the kind of story you learn over and over again about everything in the world. Your life starts out as a wild, open frontier. You explore until the forces of time or history or civilization or nature intervene. And then suddenly it's all gone. It all weathers and falls down. It gets built over. Everyone dies or moves away. It becomes a grainy photograph. And yes, at some point you just get fat and fall off a streetcar. Progress and dumps on your aging and gigantic ass. Maybe that was another reason why I didn't come back to the Little House books for a long time. But here I was again, coming back to this place where the path through Laura world seemed to end and disappear in the grass. Only this time I wanted to go further. I could see Laura Ingalls Wilder everywhere. Really, she was everywhere. She was no longer just a person, but a universe made of hundreds of little bits. A historical, fictional, literary figure, character, person, idea, grandma, girl thing. I knew there were poems about her in picture books. I found out there were festivals, pageants, plays, websites, weblogs, authorized spin-off series books, unauthorized spin-off series books, dresses, cookbooks, newsletters, fan fiction, albums, homeschool curriculums, aprons, craft items, figurines, dollhouses. Also, a guy in Minnesota believes she is God. Oh, really? He was running for mayor of Minneapolis, and he has his whole religion called Lauraism. He wholeheartedly believes she has appeared to him in visions, and that she created the world. And after spending a dozen hours online looking for Laura and finding her in these endless kaleidoscopic configurations, who was I to doubt him? I wanted to go to Laura World. I wanted to visit the places where Laura Ingalls and her family had lived, in Wisconsin and Kansas and Minnesota and South Dakota and Missouri. All these years I hadn't quite believed that the places and books existed, but they did, and house foundations had been unearthed, and cabins reconstructed, and museums erected. I'd even met a few people who'd been to them. My friend Brian, for instance, claimed that his wife's knees had buckled at the sight of Pa's Fiddle while visiting the Laura Ingalls Wilder Museum in Missouri. The sites were all tourist destinations now, with gift shops and annual